Okay, so yes, like I said, it was my first year using GLOBE. Juliet's on campus. She taught a 4-5 combination class this year and had done it for 4 years. And so she came to me and said, I would like the kids just to learn about the clouds and how to take data. So by the time they come to me in 4th or 5th grade, I think 4th grade this coming year, she can really just get past that and dive deep. So I teach all subjects. I teach 2nd graders, so my goal was just to keep it simple and get comfortable with the program. And I feel like I was successful with that. But at the end, I'll show you my reflections and revisions and really know how I can take it to next level next year. So my main point was engaging the students, getting the students excited about GLOBE. So we read the books, watched some YouTube videos, introduced them to this cloud identification chart. And Tracy helped me with several lessons, teaching them hand motions that really stuck with them all through the year about the different types of clouds. So they still know that. Even if I asked them today, they would remember the hand motions to each cloud. So that was a great way to kick off the program. And then they're excited that they all got their own observation journal. So we did not keep these in their desk. We kept them in a special spot in the classroom. So every time we did an observation, it was a special moment. And Tracy brought this observation journal entry to me that she developed with some other 2nd grade teachers before. And we cut it and it glues nicely in a composition book. So that's pretty much the meat of the whole program. Is they had this journal, and I wanted them, my goal was to have them become independent with taking a cloud observation and entering data. And let's see, how else did we do that? So we would go outside and get our tools, and I created small groups. So this is them outside. We learned after the first lesson, you don't take everything outside. It was like a lot of crash and burns. Don't take your whole toolbox, your whole journal. So we learned just take your observation tools outside and then come in and enter the data. And I love my students. I had a very difficult class with spirited children, and taking them outside took a lot of classroom management. So once again, my goal was to just get those routines down. So once we got them down, we were able to make, oh, this is when Elizabeth came. That was awesome. We were able to make about 2 observations a week, give or take, with everything else I have to teach in the classroom too. So they got that down pretty quickly. Great engaging lesson was when Elizabeth Joyner came out, and she's amazing. I'm glad you're here because I just think about you all the time and your educational background, and the kids were just listening. Their eyes were glued to her when she was presenting, and it was really fun. And she showed them pictures of astronauts and really made the connection of the importance of the work. So the kids just felt value that what they were taking data for NASA, that was really cool for them to hear. We did this, and I have links to the lessons too, if anybody wants my presentation, but Tracy helped me with this lesson of teaching the kids the different cloud levels, height, shape, and water amount. And so we did this lesson in about 1 day, but I would say it takes about 3 days because she has this great PowerPoint and interactive, this triangle is very interactive. We had the kids also put it in their notebook so they could keep it and learn the different cloud levels and cloud types. And then they got cotton and added it to the poster. So that's about 2 lessons. And then a 3rd lesson would be the contrails with airplanes. So then we hung that up. I mean, we already had the GLOBE posters and cloud types hung up, but this kind of like gave them, their own work hung up, and they really like seeing that. Working with the 4th and 5th graders was really fun. So by about January, they started coming into my classroom. And so my kids already had their groups. They would go out and take observations. So then Mrs. Hamilton would send up some 4th or 5th graders to go with those groups. And then together they could enter the data into Chromebook. So before, I was just presenting and entering the data. We only had one data entry every time we did the observation. So my goal by the end of the year was to have my kids comfortable with a Chromebook and be able to transfer what they did in their journal to making a data entry in a Chromebook. But with COVID, we didn't get there, but I feel like we were on the right track, because once the 4th and 5th graders came in, I just walked around and observed and watched. Like, I really didn't have to do much. It was really neat to see all of them working together and like took it seriously. I was so proud of that. So then we went to distance learning. So I sent home their composition book with a stack of journal entries. And then when we did, I have a Google Classroom. So in my Google Classroom, I have a classwork tab, and in there I have it for GLOBE. So I was able to send all of these links to the tools that they needed to make an observation at home. But not all of my kids had access. Not all of them got a Chromebook. Oh, okay, sorry. But it was there if they needed it. And so then when we did a Zoom meeting, we started, I only did them once a week for, you know, different things just to stay connected with the kids. We would start with a cloud observation. That was kind of a way we started our Zoom meeting, and it was so cool. It was just like in the classroom routine, like, okay guys, go outside and look at the sky, and they would all leave their computers, go outside and come back, and we would do our observation together. It was really great. And I used Class Dojo to do my lessons. I would do video lessons. So one of the lessons we did was making a mobile. So I did, and this is in the NASA website. I have the link at the bottom. And I gave them the video of the NASA website. I even talked to them about what materials they needed to get. So before we did our Zoom lesson, they had a stick, string, and paper, and they were able, and Tracy was on with me, so it was really nice because I was trying to demonstrate, and then she would chime in and add questions, and so it was a really great lesson. The kids had fun, and this is what some of them came up with to show different cloud levels, and they tried to cut or rip their paper to show the, the different cloud formations. And we used like wax paper to, just to give the different levels. So revisions and reflections. So for next year, I would like some type of pre and post assessment. Tracy had a great idea of just using this observation sheet and be like, go outside and make an observation, use this sheet. Well, I can say that none of them would be able to do that. None of them were able to do that this year. I had to like give a lot of guidance through that. Or maybe a simple quiz would be a good idea too, because the kids would like to see, hey, I didn't know anything, and now I know how to name some clouds and their levels. Or just, I didn't get to have their notebook at the end of the program because I sent them all home, so I couldn't look through them. And then I would like the evaluation rubric available before I even start GLOBE, so I know exactly what I'm going to be evaluating them on. In their notebook, I would like there to be 3 sections. So one section for all these journal entries, observation entries. Another section for notes. So whenever we learn something new about GLOBE, that would be the next section. And then the last section would just be a writing prompt section, because I really want to connect this to other standards. And then I would also like to have a KWL chart, and I'll just like start with that. What do you know? What do you want to know? And then the learning, we could just keep adding to it throughout the year and just keep going back and reflecting on it so the kids can see that they're growing and they're learning. And then also making standard connections. There's a lot I could take this off into informational text, literature text, and writing and speaking and listening to kind of just shorten up the time that it takes. And this book right here, Cloud Country, I don't know if anybody has read it. Well, he has like a whole series on YouTube, the author explaining how he made the book, and it's made by Disney. And so that's a huge part of my language arts, is writing and listening to authors. And so they are motivated to be an author themselves and develop their writing. That was really quick. That was about it. I had a lot more to say and I weren't really quick. So if there's any questions, go for it.